Deep Shadows, Chapter 1. On the Precipice of Darkness. The rain fell in relentless sheets, drenching Caldwell Street as if the heavens themselves were mourning the sins of the city. The asphalt shimmered under the glow of greasy neon lights, colors bleeding together like a poorly mixed watercolor painting. Detective Joshua Alexander stood at the entrance of Crooked Alley, a narrow passage that seemed to swallow the light whole. His cigarette burned low, smoke curling around him and mingling with the damp scent of asphalt and decay. With every drag, he felt a familiar bitterness. It wasn't just the tobacco. It was the weight of the missing women whose faces haunted him. Young girls who laughed, danced, and dreamed. Now just faded photographs pinned to the precinct bulletin board, smothered in the stale scent of desperation. Caldwell's grip tightened around Joshua, each raindrop echoing the clock ticking down for potential salvation that dwindled with each passing hour. He pushed off the cluttered brick wall, the chill of the dampness numbing his senses. Joshua's eyes darted through the shadows, each flicker of movement a story waiting to claw its way into the light. He had been on this damned case for months, following dead-end tips and chasing whispers through the underbelly of the city, but it always seemed to lead him nowhere concrete. His phone buzzed sharply against the dull thrum in his pocket. Glancing down, he saw a message from Clara. "You at Crooked Alley? Let's meet at the station. I've got a lead that could crack this case wide open." Joshua's heart raced. A lead? In a city drowning in darkness, this could be the lifeline he'd been grasping for. With a flick of his wrist, he snuffed out the cigarette, the ember glowing briefly before surrendering to the gloom. Pushing aside his fraying nerves, he paced toward his car, an old red Escort with one orange door. He turned the key, and with a slight whine the engine roared to life in defiance of the storm, the wipers fighting valiantly against the downpour. Arriving at the precinct felt oddly surreal. The energy inside crackled with a desperate urgency, officers shuffling past each other restlessly, haunted by at least one missing soul. Upon entering the office, Clara was a beacon of intensity, her brow furrowed, illuminated slightly by the dim glow of her computer screen. "Joshua!" she called, motioning him over, her voice cutting through the haze of commotion. The fire in her eyes ignited a spark within him as he approached. "You need to see this." She turned the screen, revealing a collage of photographs, fragmented lives now extinguished, young women frozen in their last moments of freedom. A chill crept through him as he recognized the faces. "It's a damn pattern," Clara said, her fingers quick on the keys. "All these girls were last seen around the Whitestone Club just days before they vanished. I reached out to a bartender who thinks he might have seen something. We should head over there now." "Let's hit the road," Joshua replied, his voice steady despite the gnawing dread tightening around his chest. He had become attached to this case and to the hope of bringing those girls home alive. The weight of this investigation anchored him like lead. This wasn't just a routine case. It had morphed into something more grotesque. An unsettling feeling urged him to tread carefully as they peeled back the layers of human existence, exposed and raw. Outside, the storm raged, mirroring the chaos brewing within. Stepping into the downpour, Joshua could almost hear the city's latest secret stirring, reminding him that every choice he made could lead him closer to the truth or deeper into peril. Tonight, they would plunge into the underbelly of the Whitestone Club, driven by dread and unyielding resolve. With adrenaline sharpening his senses like a knife's edge, Joshua prepared for the grim task ahead. This would be no simple case.